Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for telling an employee she can choose between demotion or termination. AITA for not allowing my friend to move with my children. AITA for calling the police on my sister when she was just trying to help. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for telling an employee she can choose between demotion or termination. I own a vape shop. We're a small business, only 12 employees. One of my employees, Peggy, was supposed to open yesterday. Peggy has recently been promoted to manager after 2 solid years of good work as a cashier. I really thought she could handle the responsibility. So, I wake up 3 hours after the place should be open, and I have 22 notifications on the store Facebook page. Customers have been trying to come shop, but the store is closed. Employees are showing up to work, but they're locked out. I call Peggy and get no response. I text her, same thing. So I go in and open the store. An hour before her shift was supposed to be over, she calls me back. I ask her if she's okay, and she says she needed to take a mental health day and do some self-care. I'm still pretty pissed at this point, but I'm trying to be understanding, as I know how important mental health can be. So I ask her why she didn't call me as soon as she knew she needed the day off. Her response: I didn't have enough spoons in my drawer for that. Frankly, I DK what that means. But it seems to me like she's saying she cannot be trusted to handle the responsibility of opening the store in the AM. So I told her that she had 2 choices. 1. Go back to her old position with her old pay. 2. I fire her completely. She's calling me all sorts of this now, and says I'm discriminating against her due to her poor mental health and her gender. None of this would have been a problem if she simply took 2 minutes to call out. I would have got up and opened the store on time. But this no-call/no-show shit is not the way to run a successful business. I think I might be the AH here, because I am taking away her promotion over something she really had no control over. But at the same time, she really could have called me. So, Reddit, I leave it to you, am I the asshole? NTA. You aren't taking it away because of her gender or poor mental health. You are reacting to her not following the sickness policy of contacting you before her shift. TBH not showing up or contacting anyone. I wouldn't have been giving her the choice, however check that legally you are okay with that. I gave her the choice because I kinda feel like the whole thing is my fault. I promoted her past her level of success. She was as an amazing cashier, so I figured I'd reward that. But being good at sales doesn't really translate to being a good manager. I'd be happy to have her here, doing her old job. The spoons thing is referring to spoon theory, a psychological theory regarding the amount of energy it takes someone to perform a task. In this example, a normal person might need 1 spoon you'll call out, but someone with mental/chronic illness might need 4. Essentially a way of explaining that it can be harder to do things when you have mental illnesses, in a quantifiable way. That being said, as a neurodivergent person, it is complete and utter bullshit that she didn't make herself call you. It isn't just her shirking a responsibility. It is her making a decision that affects your livelihood and the livelihood of 12 other people. Not to mention the way she affected the customers, cause how many more tried to come to the store and didn't say anything on the FB? If she didn't have enough spoons to work, fine. But if she can't be trusted to uphold her managerial duties, mental health or otherwise, she doesn't deserve that responsibility. She doesn't deserve the raise and title that go with it. NTA. NTA. I'm a manager as well and fully believe in the importance of mental health days and taking care of your mental well-being as much as your physical well-being. However, an employee just going AWOL like that is not okay. If they didn't have the spoons to call, they should have gotten a trusted friend or family member to call instead. Or texted and thrown their phone across the room. I would happily make a last-minute call-out work. Damaging the business by no-showing is not okay, but I'd have a serious talk with her about responsibilities and be frank about your expectations. It's the same as someone calling out half an hour before opening because they've gotten sudden onset diarrhea. Just call or text or tell someone you can't make it. Basically, don't demote or fire her, but put her on a type of probation and make it explicitly clear that you value her well-being, but she can't no-show. NTA. You don't have enough spoons in your drawer to deal with incompetent managers. Has she no-showed as a cashier before? Was this totally new behavior for her? AITA for not allowing my friend to move with my children. I am a 32-year-old widow to 3 young children. We live in a small but cute 3-bedroom that is too small for us, but due to cost of living and COVID, we ended up renting the home longer than originally expected. The house has a renovated garage-type space in the back, and about 6 months ago my friend Trish asked if she could stay because she had nowhere to go with her 2 kids. I told her that's fine, but that I would not be renewing my lease because I am purchasing a home. Trish has not saved up any money or gotten a job. I reminded her last week that I would start putting in offers on homes this week. We put in an offer this past Friday and found out today that I was accepted. I let Trish know that if things went well we would be leaving in 30 to 45 days. She asked me about the house and then said that the house doesn't have a space for her and her kids, but otherwise it was perfect. I thought she was joking and said that once we get settled we will figure out something for sleepovers with the kids. Trish seemed totally taken off guard. She said that she didn't think I was really going to move without her and that she had nowhere to go and she would be homeless. She called her sister and her sister said no, she can't stay because their grandmother already lives there and there is no more space. Trish is now freaking out and saying that we've all turned our back on her. Her parents don't have their own place, nor do her grandparents. I recommended income-based housing a job, but she said she doesn't want to put her kids in daycare. She says that I have more than enough money to help her and still buy a house. I work 2 jobs and have busted my butt to buy this house and have enough money for furniture and everything to be the way I want. I basically told her I can't help her and the lights will be out September 15th. AITA for leaving her with nowhere to go? NTA. You gave her 6 months. She is not working, and she is not planning to work, her plan is to exploit you. That's the part that's outrageous to me. You work 2 jobs and she apparently feels that it's okay fine for you to support her joblessness. She wants you to enable her to be a som. This OP, getting into that new home is the chance to not have to deal with evicting this woman. Take that chance. You warned her. She needs to figure out her own situation. Don't let her step foot in your house. Don't even let her stay the night, or you are going to end up with her in your home for years, and you'll have to go through a long and awful process to get her out, which will inevitably end in her hating you. Trish is not your friend, she is angling to be your dependent, trailing her 2 kids with her. I wouldn't let her have your new address, if you haven't already given it. I'd be very careful about allowing her entry to your new home at all for that matter. NTA. And no sleepovers for the kids. She'll try to leave them with you, or stay herself. Watch out for all mail, make sure there's nothing with her name coming to your new address, she might try to claim residency. She doesn't have the address for the new house. I also wasn't planning sleepovers but didn't want to hurt her feelings. The new house is gated and you have to show ID to get in. My sister told me to tell security about her. Thank you. I often feel conflicted. I was raised to be kind of selfish and take care of myself before anyone else, of course take care of my kids too, so for the last year I've been pretty frugal and focused and wasn't sure if that was hindering being a kind person. No idea why people think you are obligated to help them financially when they refuse to help themselves. You gave plenty of time and help. NTA AITA for calling the police on my sister when she was just trying to help? I'm 22F. My sister is 27F. We had babies within 2 weeks of each other, and our sons are now 3 and 5 weeks old. Her son is breastfed and mine is not. I needed to get surgery recently, and because my son's father isn't around, my sister and BIL offered to babysit my son while I was in the hospital, 3 days total, free of charge. When I came home today, I walked into my son on my sister's breast, which I actually didn't have an issue with to begin with because it was probably easier to BF him than make bottles, but she told me after she had thrown out all of the garbage I was feeding him and she was going to pump plus donate milk to him. I was kind of in shock, so I didn't react straight away, but I went to the bathroom and called the police on her. Apparently what she did wasn't a crime, and the child is being fed, so they couldn't even do anything about it. My sister then blew up at me, saying it was completely wrong of me to call the police on her when she was just trying to help. I told her she dumped 14 cans of formula without even consulting me and currently had nothing to replace it with, just plans to. She now wants me to pay her for the babysitting she did, but I told her I can't even afford to replace the formula while I'm on maternity leave, so I won't be paying her for the babysitting. She ended up storming out and blocked me on everything. Our parents were able to replace 2 of the cans she threw out but can't do much else. They also think I was a D*CK for calling the police on her because getting a record could affect her government job and therefore my nephew. AITA? Edit: there's no way my sister would have replaced the formula, she is completely against it, and has been vocal about her dislike for me using it. Edit 2: my sister did not have a supply already pumped, nor has she even used her pump yet, so not only did she not have anything to replace what she threw out, she had no idea how her body would respond to a pump. The only way she could have been feeding my son over the next few weeks would be to put him on the boob, which would take time away from me being with him. 14 cans of formula is no joke. NTA. I know, right? It's super expensive and depending on what type it is, really hard to find. My cousin can't produce enough milk for her baby and has been doing both formula and milk to keep that baby fed. Problem is, baby has an extremely sensitive stomach and needs a specific type, whose factory burned down a year ago, and it's really hard to find. The entire family has been looking across the country for it and mailing it to her. It's not even available online. Uneasy face. That's $700 worth of the formula my baby drinks. I would be livid. NTA. She just literally dumped hundreds of dollars of formula that you bought because of her own personal opinions on formula. I would have done the same thing in your situation. Seriously, that's at a minimum theft by unlawful disposition. She owes you for the 14 cans of formula that she stole and threw away. She can disagree with you all she wants, but theft is theft, and now that she's blocked you everywhere, she's leaving your child to go hungry. Small claims court? NTA, she destroyed your property, the food for your child. Such a typical blow-off from the police though. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.